It's already 2:11, and let's just wait for 4 or 5 more minutes, and then we'll start this class.
So, Oliva, please start because I'm here. If anyone is joining, I will admit that
Okay,
person.
okay,
Fine,
okay.
because it's already 2:13. So let's
Yes,
start. And please
yes,
turn on the recording, Oliva,
yes, ma'am.
because we need to give that. Fine.
Yes, yes.
This call is now being recorded.
Okay. So today we will discuss about the sorting using Python. In the last class, you already saw that how we can implement an array and do array operations on Python. So basically, it is using the list. So today, let's see how can we implement the sorting algorithms in Python. So let me just present my screen first, and then I will show you the code. Okay, is it visible to everyone?
Yes, it's visible. If possible, Oliva, increase the font size, if possible.
Um,
Just in this area, this three dot at the right corner. Go there and, if possible, increase. Otherwise, it's visible. You can write.
Okay, so I don't know actually. This is the online compiler, so I don't know from where to increase the font size.
Ma'am, you can use control plus from the keyboard. I mean, zooms the page.
Okay. So, is it clearly visible now?
Yes, it's better now. Yes, clearly visible.
Okay. So first, let me just show you the bubble sort program for the bubble sort, and then I hope after seeing that you will be able to write the insertion and the selection sort. So let's first define a function for bubble sort, and we will just call that function for performing the sorting algorithm. Now let's name it as bubble, and this is the array we are passing to the function. Now firstly, we will take the array length. As you know, in case of Python, we can directly take the list and then we can run the sorting algorithm on that. So for this, for safety reason, it is better to take the length in a separate variable always, so that you will not get confused when the length is not already defined. So here we are taking the length in the variable n, and then we will just write the loops for the bubble sort. Now, do any one of you can tell me that what should I write? Like what will be the loop here? Anyone? You tell me that what will the loop look like? Any one of you? This is simply the bubble sort that you already have done in C. The loops are same as it, but only the syntax will be different. So you tell me what will be the loop. Anyone, can you tell me?
For I in range is 0 to n.
For I in range 0 to n minus 1, right?
N minus 1.
Right? What will be the second loop here? You tell me the range here.
n minus I minus 1.
0 comma n minus I minus 1, right? And then now we will check for the swapping operation, right? So if a of j is greater than a of j plus 1, in that case we will swap the elements, right? So p equals to a of j plus 1 equals to, a of j, and a of j equals to t. So basically that is all about the bubble sort, right? We don't have anything else to do here, right? So now let's just define an array. Sorry, in this case, let's define a list here. A of, suppose whatever, 3, 2, 7, 4, and 10, then 9. So this is the list we already have. And now we will just call the bubble sort function for this array, for this list, and we will directly print the output list. So let's see. See, okay. Wait a minute. It's repeating the arguments. Sorry. Sorry, that is j plus 1 equals to j, yes. See now, we have got the sorted list. Now this is very simple, and whatever you have learned in the algorithm, that you already know the algorithm for this bubble sort. We have just write those lines of code in Python syntax, nothing else. So now I hope you will be able to implement the insertion sort and the selection sort. Please respond that will you be able to do that, because it is very similar to whatever you have learned in the algorithm. So do I need to show that, or you can do it by yourself, the insertion and the selection sort? Please respond. Hello? Please respond to what I am asking. One of you have responded, so I hope that all of you will be able to do that. Continue with what? Continue with that. So continue with what? Okay, so this is the bubble sort program basically. So whenever you are writing any kind of sorting algorithms, you can either write it with a function definition or directly. So it does not actually matter. So that's all about bubble sort using Python. And the insertion and selection sorts will be very similar. Only the conditions and the loops will be a little bit different. Nothing more. So now you have learned two more sorting algorithms, right? Merge sort and quick sort. And both of them are basically recursive functions. What does it mean? That means that we are writing a recursive function for the sorting algorithm, and we call that. So let's first see how can we define it.
Your voice is not audible.
Is it audible now? Am I audible to you?
Oliver, you are audible.
Yes, you are audible to us.
Yes.
Yes.
In case of merge and quick sort, what we do is we actually write recursive functions. So let's just see here in Python, how can we write a recursive function? So let's start with a very common recursive function, which is a factorial. So let's define a factorial function, and we know that factorial of 0 is always 1, and this is the base condition for the recursion. You already know that from your C programming, right? This is a very common program for recursion. So let's see that, and otherwise we will return fact of n minus 1 into n. Right? This is basically the recursive function for factorial. You already know this function from your C program. I have just written it in the Python syntax, nothing else. So let's take n as user input, and let's see what this function returns. Equals to factorial of n, and then print this output, right? So here I am entering suppose 5. So it should print the factorial of 5, and it is printing 120, right? Again, let's try some other number. Let's say 4. So 4 factorial should be 24. So it is printing 24, right? So this is how actually we write recursion in Python. This is very similar to whatever you have done in C. Only here the syntax is different, nothing else. The calling of recursive function, the methods, the logics, everything is exactly same. Only here we have the syntax of Python, nothing else. So let's try another example. Let's say we are we want to print nth term of a Fibonacci series. This is also a very common recursive function. So let's say we want to print nth term in the Fibonacci series. So here also we have this base condition that when the first term is always 0 and the second term is always 1. So that means whenever n is equals to 1, it should return 0, right? Because the first term is always 0. And if n is equals to 2, then it should always return 1 because the second term is always 1. And from the third term onwards, we have this formula that nth term should be the summation of n minus 1th term and n minus 2th term, right? So this simply will return Fibonacci of n minus 1 plus Fibonacci of n minus 2, right? This is basically the formula, recursive formula for Fibonacci series. So let's again take n as an user input and print the nth term, which is, we are just basically calling the function, right? So let's see what does this print. The third term should be 2, right? No, the third term should be 1. 0 plus 1, 1. So it should print why is it getting error? F equals to Fibo of n. Let's see that.
Ma'am,
Yes.
in the place of written, you have write FIBO. Instead of O, you have written
C is
O.
the calling.
Yes. That's why it is getting error. Okay. Okay, so the third term should be 1, right? It is printing 1. Let's check it for another number, say 5. The fifth term should be 3. So it is printing 3. So this is again exactly same as whatever you have learned in C, only the syntax is different, nothing else. So now let's try with merge sort, and we know that merge sort use recursive function. So let's try that first. If merge sort, and A is the name of the array which we will pass to the function. And again here we are taking the length of the array for our convenience. So now you tell me what should I do first? You tell me. Any one of you tell me what should I do first to write this merge sort function. Am I audible? Then please respond. Hello?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yes, anyone tell me what should I write now? You tell me. Okay, see, first of all, if the array has a single element, then definitely we have nothing to divide and nothing to do. So, firstly, we will do the entire procedure for size of array greater than n. Sorry, size of array greater than 1. So, that is why first we are checking this. And if this is true, only then we will enter the merge sort function basically. So that means whenever the array has a single element, if you try to divide it and get the mid position and all, you will get error, right? Because there is nothing to divide if the array has a single element. So that is why we are checking whether it has more than one element or not. If it has more than one element, only then we will perform the merge sort operation. Now you tell me one by one that what are the steps. You have learned it. So tell me what should I do first? You don't need to tell me the syntax. You just tell me what should I do first. Anyone? Can you tell me what should I do? Like, what step should I do now? See, in case of merge sort, what is the concept? Yes.
Ma'am, I think we do first thing dividing the middle part of the whole array, then dividing it so that in the first half and the second half, when the left half would go with the sorted elements,
Yes.
and then the second half, I mean right half of the element. If then we call the merge sorting there, so that we can get the sorted elements accordingly.
Yes, absolutely that. So now let's just have the middle position of this list. So we will here perform the absolute division so that we don't get any fractional number. If the length of the array is an odd number, then if we do this division, we will get a fractional number, and the fraction cannot be any index, right? So that is why here we are doing the absolute division. Now, in case of C, we have done either ceiling or float for the division, right? So here in Python, we have this method, so we are using this. Now, we will divide this array we will divide this list into two sublists. So, in case of C, what we have done is we were just traversing the array up to the middle index and then another half, like that. But here in Python, we have this function called what does it call that? Slicing operation. Yes, slice operation. So slice operation you have already learned in previous class that this means a of 1.2. This is a slicing operation, and this means we are 1.5 suppose. So we are having the indices from 1 to 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4. This syntax means we are considering the indices 1, 2, 3, and 4. So using this operation, we can actually divide the list here. See how can we do that? L is for left sublist, and R is for right sublist. So L is equals to this one. What does this mean? Please someone tell me what does this line means? Any one of you. You already have learned about slice operation while learning about list and tuples. So you tell me what does the list L will contain now? Any one of you, you tell me.
Contain the elements from the starting position to the mid position of the list.
No, it will contain from the starting position to mid minus 1 position.
One position.
Right? So we have this left sublist in L. Now we will, Now we will have the right sublist in the list R like this. Mid, mid and colon. So what does this line means? You tell me.
From the middle element to the last minus one element. From middle element to the last element.
Yes, middle element to the last element. Now basically so far we have got the middle index, and we have divided the given list into two sublists. Now we will call, now we will call merge sort recursively for both these sublists, right? That is what the merge sort algorithm tell us to do, isn't it? So we are just calling the function recursively for both the sublists. Now after the recursively we have called it, what we will have to do, see, the merge sort L and merge sort R are returning us the sorted sublist L and sorted sublist R, right? So now we have two sorted sublists and we have to merge them into the sorted final list, right? According to the algorithm, this function is returning us the sorted left sublist and sorted right sublist. Now, as we have two different sublists, we have to merge them in a sorted final list. So, basically, now we will perform the merge operation. Sorry, before that, we are initializing the variables j equals to 0 and k equals to 0. Okay. Now, while I is less than length of L, that means the variable I is traversing the indices of the left sublist and j is less than length of R. That is, the j variable is now traversing the indices of the right sublist. So what we will do now? Please someone tell me what is the procedure of merge operation. You don't have to tell me the syntax here. You just tell me what is the procedure of merge operation. Simple merge. Someone of any one of you tell me. You already know that because in array also we have this merge operation or merging of two array like that, and here also in the algorithm you have learned it. So please someone tell me what is the procedure of merging to list or merging to arrays.
We will take one third array and put that sorted arrays one by one, elements one by one into the new array.
That means we are basically comparing both the subarrays and then whichever is smaller we are putting it to the new array first, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's just do that operation here. Now we already know that I is traversing the left sublist and j is traversing the right sublist. So now if this is less than the right sublist, then we will put L of I into the new list, right? So A of k is equals to L of I and then I plus equals to 1. Understood this one, this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Else part means R of j is greater than, R of j is less than L of I. That means now A of k will contain R of j, right? So, and we are increasing the pointer j. And now, after each assignment, we are increasing the pointer k. Now, this while loop, have every one of you understood this? The part I have marked.
Yes, ma'am.
This is nothing but the basic merge operation, nothing else. So now what we will do is, wait a minute. See, now after this while loop ends, it may be sometimes one of the lists have been completed, like completely traversed, but the second list has left with some elements. So in that case, we have to put all the elements into the new list. Why is so? Because we already know that the left and right sub list are already sorted. So we don't need to check for that. We don't need to check for whether any element is greater or not, because the sublist are already sorted. So whenever one sublist has been traversed completely and the second one is left with some elements, we know that those left out elements are already greater than whatever we have put into the new array, right? You are understanding what I'm saying? This is basically the merging operation, nothing else. So suppose here we have completely traversed the left subtree, sorry, left sub list. So now we have to get the leftover elements in the right sublist. So what we will do, j is less than r of length of r, and then we are just putting it into the new list, r of j, and k equals to j plus 1, k equals to k plus 1. Similarly, when suppose the right sublist has been traversed entirely, but left sublist has some elements left. So we are just putting those elements into the new list directly. So I is less than length of L, and k of k equals to L of I, and I equals to I plus 1, k equals to k plus 1. Okay, so this is what actually merge sort algorithm tells us, isn't it? Everyone understood this merging operation? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so now as we have designed this function or the entire merge sort algorithm using Python, we just need to call this function for sort any list. Again, let's have this array, this list with the elements say 4, 1, 10, 9, 10, 8, 7, 6, 3, and 9, whatever. Now we will just call it merge sort the list, and then we will print the output list, right? So let's see. See, it has printed the sorted list. So this is how we can actually implement merge sort and implement it using recursive function. So as I have shown you the merge sort algorithm already, I hope you can implement the quick sort in similar way using recursive function. Please respond to me that whether you will be able to do that or not. Because
Ma'am, will you?
Yes.
Ma'am, will you send that code now official group so that we can see to it afterwards?
This code.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, should we send this code already because they have not have it in their assignment yet? Ma'am? Ma'am, are you there? Okay, so do one thing. After this examination, you will have assignments for these sorting algorithms in Hackathon. So once you are done with that, we will share all the codes. But before that, whatever I have shown you, based on that, you try it. You can write it down. I am keeping the screen for some time, but at least try to write it by yourself. After that, we will share every solution with you. Whatever assignment you have done or you will have in future, we will share every solution with you. But before getting the solution, you just try it by yourself once. So I am keeping the screen to you and you can write it down, but just try it by yourself once for the assignment. Okay. After that, we will share every code with you. So you just write it down. I have keep the screen on. So whenever I need to scroll down, you tell me and you write it down.
Ma'am, please show that algorithm part. I mean, lower the screen.
Yes. Is that fine now?
Yes, ma'am.
ওইটা তো এইগুলো তো জানি, এই নামগুলো তো সবারই চেনে। হ্যাঁ আমি বলছি তো, এটা বলো, এটা বলছি তো, হ্যাঁ বলো। বুঝলাম স্যার, লিম্ফোসাইটের সাথে অনাক্রমতা প্রদর্শন হতেই পারে। লিম্ফোসাইট কি শ্বেতরক্তকণিকা তো? শ্বেতরক্তকণিকা তো? এগুলো সব কটা শ্বেতরক্তকণিকা। সব কটা তো বুঝলাম, অনাক্রমতা প্রদর্শন করে লিম্ফোসাইট, এটা জানি ভালো করে। ইওসিনোফিল, এই হিস্টামিন কণাযুক্ত ক্ষরণ, এটা ক্ষরণ হলে সর্দি কাশিটা বাড়ে। কথাটা শোনো, ঠিক আছে? এখানে দেখো একই জায়গায় বারবার এখানে বহু সম্পর্ক চেক করা হয়েছে যে অনাকরণতা প্রদর্শন এই দুটো বেরোলে এই দুটোর মধ্যে বেরিয়ে যেত। দুটো যে দুটো বেরিয়েছিল সেই দুটো সব করা অনেক কটাতে কমন দেওয়া আছে, ঠিক আছে? চেক করে করা হয়নি। এই নিজ সাইডটা এইটা কোশ্চেনটা করা যেত কি এই মোট প্রাথমিক 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 তারপরে এই যে জায়গাটা করতে হবে শুধু এই কান্ত পুষ্টিকাতে কান্ত পুষ্টিকাতে পুষ্প শেষে অবসায় ডিম্বাশয় এইটা তো ভেবে চিন্তা করা যেত। সব করে ডিম্বাশয় দেখতে পাচ্ছ না নাকি? ডিম্বাশয় তো পড়িনি, কান্ত পুষ্টিকা আমরা পড়িনি। পড়িস নি, এটা বুদ্ধি দিয়ে করা যেত। ওটা কোন জায়গায় থাকতে পারে?
Yes, ma'am, done.
Okay, have you done it or right? Should I stop presenting now? Or
Yes, ma'am, I think everyone has done completed that. Continue with other.
okay. So I am stop presenting the screen now, and whatever I have shown you today, the course, I hope based on that you will be able to do the rest of the sorting algorithms that you have learned. So now you tell me whatever you have learned so far within your midterm syllabus. You have the syllabus for the next week exam, and if you have any doubt regarding that, you can ask me now. And from 3:10 we will have a mock test, like mock lab exam, to make you comfortable with the procedure that the examination in the next week will be in. So before starting the mock test, let's just have some discussion if you have any doubt. So tell me. Do any one of you have? Yes.
This mock test will take place in HackerRank only.
No, this mock test will be of 45 minutes because in the examination from next week onwards, you will have 4 programs to execute and you will have 3 hours. So for one program, you will have 45 minutes. So today we will give you a random program, an easy one. So just to make you comfortable with the procedure, nothing else. So you will have to solve that program on your own compiler, and then today you will have to take a screenshot for that program and share it with us via a Google form. That Google form we also shared with you in this chat, and that is the procedure for today. From the next in the next week exam, actual lab exam for the mid-sem, you will be given a set of 4 questions. 2 will be there of C and 2 will be there of Python. It will be mentioned which one is of C and Python, so you don't have to worry about it. It will be mentioned in the question. So you have to solve those 4 programs in your own computer, not in HackerRank. It can be any platform, it can be any compiler, but you have to solve that program or write the code in your own compiler, not in HackerRank. And when you are done with all 4 questions or all 4 programs and you have executed all of them and tested them, then you will share your screen with the examiner, whoever will be there. You will share your screen with the examiner and he or she will be evaluating your code. And you can execute it and the examiner can see the inputs and outputs and like that. Understood? And after that, again, you will have to take the screenshot or make it a PDF, whatever, of the code and have to submit it via a Google form. The Google form will also be shared with you in the Google Meet of your examination. So that is basically will be the procedure of the lab exam of 3 hours. And after you have submitted all your codes, there will be a small Viva versus section of, I guess,
Or
20
we may ask, means when they will show us the code, we may take the Viva even at that time also.
Yes,
That's
yes.
just
We
in
will-
our choice actually.
Yes. So that basically will be the procedure of the examination. So now, if you have any kind of doubt regarding whatever I have just told or whatever you have been taught till today, you can ask us.